and the defense of others, never to attack or force my will upon my fellow man. Instead, I seek the will of the Lord for all people, regardless of religion, color, or creed. I humbly commit my life as a warrior for the glory of the Lord, who has called me to his purpose and salvation through faith and grace alone. Hey guys, welcome back to Iron Lotus Martial Arts and the Christian Karate Club. Today is your virtual lesson. Today we're going to be going over the full rotation 1. So we do what we call combat rotations or combat katas, right? So in many cases, we definitely recognize the value of a good traditional kata, yet we also recognize that sometimes they can seem kind of impractical or elusive. So this is basically taking all the material that we rotate through every single month, combining it and condensing it into a hands-on kata that you will be able to practice at home with or without a partner. So we're going to show you how it works single and alone with no partner. We're also going to show you how it works with a partner. Ideally, you'd want to throw a set of 4 in here. When we filmed this exact lesson yesterday, everything broke, so we're trying to catch up and do a refilm of this so that you guys have this for your resources at home, as well as you have something to follow along with. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off class. Begin all things with prayer. Weapon, shield. Karate is for self-defense and the defense of others, never to attack or force my will upon my fellow man. Instead, I seek the will of the Lord for all people, regardless of religion, color, or creed. I humbly commit my life as a warrior for the glory of the Lord, who has called me to his purpose and salvation through faith and grace alone. All right, up and running. Just going to get our heart rate up a little bit, do our stretches, and then we'll jump right into today's workout. 1 push-up, 1 sit-up, go. Socks don't want to stay on today. That's all right. It's not too cold in here. 2 and 2, go. All right, let's get some jumping jacks. Ready? Begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. Start with the next. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoulder rotations. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start that right side first. Pull it in, palm up. Crossbody arm pull. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch gears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Trunk twist. We're going to go to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feet and knees back together. We're going to do the knees and ankles rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big step out to the right. Okay. We're going to come both sides down. Try to reach down and touch those toes. You want your toes pointed straight forward. 1, 2, keep that knee bent. 3, 4, 5. Slowly back up. Now let's reach down on that right side, or the left side rather. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly back up. We're going to go hands together. Morphin time. Straight down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to switch over. Make sure you guys are placing this wrist is striking all the way on the surface there. That we can kind of bend and stretch that wrist out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly back up. We're going to come down on that right side now, all the way down into the sagittal stretch. We're going to try to go like a side driving knife edge kick. Put those toes on the ground and point them straight forward. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Toe up. Sink down deeper into that stretch. Try to touch those toes if you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift gears onto the other side. Stay low. Pull that toe up towards you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, on the floor. Gonna go over sideways on that right side first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switching sides. Over to that left. Ready? Sideways first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your feet together. Make that butterfly. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, back up on your feet. All right. So today is Combat Kata Day. So we're going to be going through our entire Rolodex for what we call Combat Kata 1, which is basically the entire month of January, the curriculum that we're given. And so we do a cross section here. So it's a little bit from yellow, a little bit from orange, a little bit from purple, one from blue, and that's going to give us our first rotation. Now each month we go through a full rotation of all of our techniques. So you'll see those each week as we're driving forward. So this is going to be your entire month of January built into one. Again, what we call the Combat Kata teaches the discipline of how to move on the battle space, how to start thinking on your feet and transition from one technique to another technique. So we've taught through already Chinese Sword A, okay? So we're stepping forward, striking in with that right side, striking with a chop right here on that right side, and then that left heel palm, okay? Targets for the heel palm, we'll punch straight forward, boom, I'm blocking, okay? So I'm responding to a right straight punch or even a right hook punch would work for this case. And I want to chop, hammer block nice and hard into here. We want to try to see if we can disrupt some of the nerves and things in his arm, but not necessarily vital for what I'm doing right at this moment. From here, I'm going to open my hand up. I'm using the principle of contouring, going up into his jugular vein, right into the neck, and then we're going to use this left hand as a heel palm. I've got some targeting locations, one up here. The only problem, while I can do some good damage to the face, it's going to be kind of like a Pez dispenser. I'm not going to be able to push my opponent away from me. And so what we want to start getting in the habit of for a self-defense standpoint is to be able to turn around and go point of contact. That's where he's throwing a punch at me, point of control, and then point of escape. I'm going to use his heel palm, push into his ribs, and cover out. So again, Chinese Sword A, we're stepping in on that right side, chop with the right side, and heel palm with that left side. We're going to face this way and do it. Okay, step. One more time right here. Ready? Step, block, chop, heel palm. Awesome. All right, so that's Chinese Sword A. We're going to move on to Chinese Sword B. So I was on the inside of my opponent when he's throwing a right straight punch. Okay, now I'm going to go to the outside of my opponent as he's throwing a left. Now what's really cool about this is I can skirt to the outside. I've got the same footwork and the same hammering block as Chinese Sword A. Big difference here is I'm going to circle around behind. I'm going to take this ridge hand, back of the neck, go for a little mantis hook, and I'm going to cross step. As I start pulling him over, I can then use this free hand to check that shoulder and send him flying into the bags, the floor, whatever that might look like. Okay, so again, left straight punch coming in, so you know what we're defending against. I'm going to hammer block into his elbow, hope for that hyperextension. I'm going to circle around, hook, or ridge hand first, then hook. I'm going to then, when I teach this, or when you guys should be doing this, think about dropping your body weight at the same time. That's something a lot of people miss. They just get here and they start trying to pull, right? I want to pull him down whilst I'm dropping my body weight, forcing him to start compromising that balance. Now it's going to start being easy for me to hook under his jaw and push in, and that's going to give us that opportunity to send him to the floor, okay? So once towards you guys, okay, we're going right foot, right block on the outside of that left, ridge hand, hook, cross step, sink that body weight down, unwind, okay? Once facing the opposite direction, so you can follow along at home. Okay, ready? Step, block, circle, ridge hand, hook, cross step, unwind. All right, so there's Chinese sword A, Chinese sword B. So when we put that in that combat kata, if this is my 12 o'clock direction, I'm going to go 1, Chinese sword A. I'm going to instantly turn, set up, and now I've got Chinese sword B coming from this side. And pivot in. Boom. And now I can go to my other side right here, which is going to be crashing elbows. So from that square horse stance, just like when I'm doing it from feet together, from that square horse stance, I've got a right punch coming in, a dodge, and elbows. This is what it looks like with an opponent, okay? I'm stepping out of the way of the punch. Okay, we want to use that mongoose principle, get our head out of the way first, okay? So from here, stepping out of the way, I'm going to step deep enough to where I can strike these elbows without having to reach for it, okay? Or strike the ribs, rather, with my elbow. Right here, here, and then I'm going to back knuckle and heel palm, but this is going to be simultaneous as I push him away, okay? So from the other side over here, right straight punch, left parry block, left lunging step, right elbow spear, right back fist, left heel palm, simultaneous. And I'm moving from soft bow back to fighting horse stance with this right here. So I'm up, back to fighting horse stance, okay? So that is crashing elbows. Let's do it once, facing towards you guys. All right, I'm moving my head out of the way, parry block on the left, step with the left, right elbow spear, right back fist, and left heel palm simultaneous as I set, boom, that foot right back down. Now facing the other side so you can follow along. Left step, okay? Right elbow spear, right back knuckle, and heel palm on the left side simultaneously. Okay, so I like to imagine I'm taking this energy, like if this is my 12 o'clock, I'm taking this energy, coming this way, and I'm going to shift it and put it out to 3 o'clock, okay? I never really want that energy to go from 12 to 6 because now I'm not doing anything with that. It's just steamrolling me, right? So we got 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Same concept if I'm hitting, so if I was at 12 o'clock for Chinese sword A, turn, Chinese sword B, boom. Now I've got somebody running in this way. I'm going to go ahead and step in, crashing elbows. Okay? I took that energy from what is now my 12 o'clock, push it out to what is now my 3 o'clock, which ultimately is 12 o'clock, right? So then from here, somebody's going to go ahead and grab me into stranglehold, okay? So this is a rear naked choke, and he chokes him pretty good, right? So what I want to do is lift and pull right here in this wrist. Let's go ahead and turn around so you guys can see what's going on here. And we'll do a half step forward. Yeah, right here. All right. So his right hand came across, okay? Now, ultimately, this is a blood choke. He's taking his bicep and his forearm, and he's cutting off circulation to my head, which makes it a blood choke, right? He's also getting into the trachea and the windpipe and everything else right here, okay? So I don't necessarily want to go straight into his elbow because that's not going to do much damage. It's also not going to protect from the blood choke. So I want to pull down on his wrist, his right wrist, my right hand, pull down. My left hand now on top, pull down even more. If I need to get a little bit more room, I can use my chin into the radial nerves right here, which does not feel good, and pull down even more, okay? From here, I'm going to go ahead and take, I got to set myself up a little bit. I'm going to take a big step, and I'm exaggerating this, but I want you to understand it's a big step to the right as I drop my body weight, and this has to be an explosive maneuver. Now, while I drop my body weight, I'm going to pull here, okay, and I'm going to strike with my elbow, right? My left hand was on top. That's why this is the free hand. Boom! And I'm going to strike with that elbow, and I'm going to put a lock in about right here, okay? Now, it's also important that I round my back a little bit because that's what's going to get him off balance, and the solar plexus being struck is going to get him to think about something other than holding on to this hold, which is the key, okay? So he sinks that lock in pretty tight. I'm going to reach up. I'm going to use my chin if I need to, take a big step out to the right, boom, and I'm going to strike in and pull down. I've got to control this wrist now. I'm going to then C-step my foot right here in front of his foot. I'm going to go behind his foot, and I'm going to use my left hand that's free as I'm protecting my face to duck under, grab his elbow, and I'm going to put him into a lock, okay? So I can C-step here, get behind him, and now we can collapse that knee. We can go to corn dog. We can go to whatever we need to go to right here, or when I C-step, boom, I can pull all the way out this direction. I like to be closer to put a little bit more of a control on this, and I'll also move my hand to get a better wrist lock on here. Okay, so that stranglehold, that's what we're going to work on. Right after, crashing elbows happens. here, somebody comes up from behind you, and then hypothetically speaking, of course, now I've got to go, oh, I want to stand up a little bit so I can take that big step. Right hand, left hand on top, big step to the right, boom, both elbows, putting a lock in on the right side, solar plexus with that elbow on the left side, C-step, get my head out of the way, go for that block, push him to the other side. Now we've got somebody potentially coming from this other side behind us again for what we call the dart. I'm just going to shift my body weight, okay? And now I'm in fighting horse, left side back. He's coming at me with a jab. I'm going to hook, pulling him off balance. I'm going to try to tuck this all the way in to my elbow, or like the elbow all the way up into my armpit, essentially. So I want to guide his punch from my face down here, right? I can do this while I'm shifting back, pulling him off balance. As I pull him off balance, I got really three options that I want to teach today. First option is this, the dart, right? The dart is essentially pulling back, and I'm going to use this and go directly into his eye with that. That's where the technique gets its name. You're darting into the eye right here. The other one that I prefer is a soft hand punch, which is keeping my hand soft, right, and open, and then I'm going to close it just before I make contact. Now this creates a snapping effect right here on his jaw. So just before I make contact, I'm going to close it and snap it into his jaw, which is a really great target right here, this lower part of the mandible. Another option, half fist. Half fist, I can go upward and I can drive into just under his jaw in this jawline right here, just behind the bone. I can drive straight into that, okay? Obviously, there's a lot of factors we can do on the way out of this, but what we want to start seeing is just block, pull, strike. That's where we're going with this, okay? So, with no opponent, this is what your entire one-man version of this combat kata looks like, okay? You could call it Form 1 in our system, I guess. I don't know, right? But the idea is we're going to take Chinese Sword A, 12 o'clock. So we're going to say that this is 12 o'clock. Right? Actually, let's just do it this way, right? So you guys can follow along. 12 o'clock, okay, you guys at my 6 o'clock now, so we're all looking 12 o'clock, right? So we're going to go straight in, right side, boom, block, chop, heel palm. I'm going to turn. Now right over here coming is a left straight punch, block, circle, hook, or rich hand and hook, cross step, unwind. Coming up right here, I'm now in like a square horse facing 9 o'clock. Now this 9 o'clock is coming towards us, and it is a right straight punch. All right, so I'm going to step forward nice and deep. I'm going to palm press, parry, elbow, elbow, back fist, back knuckle. Okay? Now somebody's going to get me into one of those strangleholds. I'm going to stand upright, so I have the mechanical advantage of taking that big step. Standing upright, okay? Right hand, left hand, tight grip. Big step to the right. Elbows, okay? From here, C-step as I lift that hand off my shoulder, and I'm going to go directly to palm down control right here, okay? I'm going to move him out of the way, and now we've got one last attack as I turn, right, facing 3 o'clock now, okay? All I've got to do from this stance here is turn, and now I've got from 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock is the dart coming straight in, right there. So let's try it one more time. I'm going to narrate a little bit less. Chinese Sword A, 12 o'clock. Turn. 6 o'clock now. Chinese Sword B. 9 o'clock. Crashing elbows. Stranglehold from my 6 o'clock now. Off this 3 o'clock now, the dart. Back to 12 o'clock. Okay? So this is what it's going to look like with an opponent. Again, what I'm hoping for is that you guys will have a stack of opponents to do, and this is how we do it in class, is I'm going to have one person here. He's going to be Chinese Sword A. Boom. Now he's going to be Chinese Sword B. Okay? Now he's going to be crashing elbows. Okay? Now he's going to be stranglehold. And now he's going to spin back around to the dart. Okay? Right? When you have multiple opponents, you're going to have somebody at your 12, somebody at your 6, somebody at your 3, somebody at your 9. Okay, go through each of those techniques together, and that's going to give you your full combat kata for the month of January, which is rotation 1. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a blessed day. We'll catch you guys next week.